So you're thinking about living in Anoka, Minnesota. Well, today we're going to let our fingertips do the walking and Google Maps do the talking. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to walk you through some of the logistical niceties and some of the cool, quirky things about Anoka, Minnesota. And we're going to get after it right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything that there is to know about living in Anoka, Minnesota, well, you have found the right place. Click that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and smash that like button on the way in so you can be the first one to know about the current market in Anoka, Minnesota. Now, my name's Garrett Hilton. We get calls, texts, emails every single day from people just like you looking for help on making their move to Anoka, Minnesota, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're making your move in 9 days or 9 months, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We'd be happy to make your move to Anoka, Minnesota a smooth one. Oh, and don't forget, all of our contact information is in the description below. Okay, everybody, we got a lot to cover. Let's talk about Anoka today, and let's share my screen with you. Hold on a second here. Okay, where are we today? Today, we're in Anoka, Minnesota, and we got a lot of information to cover, so put your bootstraps up and buckle in, baby, because we're up for a wild ride. I love Anoka, Minnesota. Anoka was founded in, I believe it was like 1680. Somebody first went to there in like 1680. Oh, that's inappropriate. Probably the 1800s, 1844. Yeah, it was like 18 something, and it was like 1844 is when settlers came in. However, like before the 1800s, it was the Ojibwe, or the Ojibwa, excuse me. It was the Ojibwa, and there was one other tribe. It was the Dakota Indians that occupied the property. The Ojibwa pushed them out across the river, and ultimately it wound up becoming like a neutral ground between the two tribes. So it's an early founded city, and so it's got a lot of really cool old-timey buildings. It's got an original downtown because it's right on the river, so there was industry that was available immediately because river boats and shipping and such. And one of the things fun facts, right? One of the things that I like doing, especially when I'm going into each community, especially if we're going to be looking at houses in Anoka, Minnesota, I start out the morning generally, let's say it is a morning, and in some cases in the afternoon. I start out with running to coffee really quick, and I like to look at the local coffee shops. I always like to go to the local ones. Why? Because that way you get to know the community, kind of get a vibe of everybody around the community that are coming in and out of the coffee shop. Especially that's another reason why I tend to encourage us going to lunch, just because you get an opportunity to be able to view other people that are in the community, utilizing the restaurants and things of that nature. It's always great too, if you're coming out of town, even if you're like moving from out of town into town, like from Minnesota, it's great to just spend a little bit of time there, go into a few of the shops, maybe even introduce yourself to one of the shop owners or one of the patrons, one of the people that's just there shopping. Like, hey, what do you like about Anoka, Minnesota? I do that as a realtor. However, I always strongly encourage all of my clients to do so, especially if they're relocating from either out of state or in another community outside of the Twin Cities, Minnesota. So at any rate, let's talk about coffee houses. Compassion Coffee, 5 stars, baby. It is awesome. And like I said, this is a small town feel, and you've got really, really cool old-timey type of coffee, like a kind of coffee shops where they've got old tables that are kind of mismatched and clunky chairs, and I don't know, I just like that vibe. I just think it's really, really cool. Anyway, Oakwood Cafe, haven't been there. I've been to Compassion Coffee before. Taste with Delights Cafe and Tea Room, haven't been there either. Truffles and Torts, been there. They've got good desserts. Avant Garden Bookstore. Avant used to be more of a cafe-ish type of place. Okay, let's talk about Avant Garden Bookstore. I've been here so many times. The cool part about Anoka is that it is also the the central city of Anoka County, and that's where the courthouse is, and which tends to bring in more small businesses, owner operator type of coffee shops and restaurants. Plenty of really, really cool bar scene type of stuff for the weekends and the weeknights. Lots of live bands, lots of events. They've got, oh my gosh, Anoka is the Halloween capital of the world. They are amazing. Their Halloween celebration here. We'll throw a few things up here. Halloween is just a neat time in Anoka, Minnesota. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in my pros and cons video that's going to be coming up. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you click that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and smash that like button so that you can get notified when I do drop that video. At any rate, Avant Garden Bookstore, great. They have a really, really awesome panini sandwich. Love it. Full Milk Coffee, haven't been there yet. That seems interesting. 4.3 stars. Generally, when we're talking something like that, 4.3 stars means that maybe your service isn't top notch, or maybe the delectable treats aren't the most mind-blowing in the world. However, you're above 4 stars, so you're doing pretty darn good. Let's zip over and talk about real estate. What is actually, that's why we're here in the first place, right? What's active, what's available, what kind of places? Let's go ahead and see. And as a realtor, I've got access to what's called the MLS, or multiple listing service. And what you're seeing is you're getting an over my shoulder view of the actual places that I search for properties that ultimately, like sites like Zillow and even Google Real Estate and Edina Realty and Redfin Realty and MLS Online, Coldwell Banker Online, Remax Real Estate Properties, and the multitude of other brokerages that are available in the Twin Cities metro area. They all pull from this, what you're looking at right now. At any rate, let's see. We've got 24 active properties. Okay. We've got townhomes, we've got single family homes, and we've got detached townhomes. And do we got any condos? I don't see any condos today. Interesting. I know there's condos in Anoka, Minnesota, but I'm not seeing any. Interesting. Price points top out at $1 million. Not a very high price community. One of the great things about the Anoka community is that it is a much lower price point, much easier. It occurs to me as it's a much lower price point to get into, it being a little bit smaller community, a little bit older community, not as much brand new construction that's happening, and they're really, really tight knit, and I just really like it. And again, like I mentioned before, the Halloween capital of the world. So if you like Halloween, Anoka is your town. Stuff that's available, let's run to the map and see what that looks like. Okay, so, and we are still recording. Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure. Okay, so let's head over to the map. We've got Anoka right in front of us. If you can see down here at the bottom, you've got Champlin as a community. Anoka is more, and let's do this. Let's delete that out. Go back up here. That's fine. Okay. Anoka. Tell me about Anoka. I would say Anoka's kind. There we go. And just as you cross over the river in Anoka, that's where you get into Champlin, Minnesota. Champlin's another community that we'll be doing a map tour on and taking you guys through some houses. Same thing we're going to do with Anoka here shortly, so definitely, again, stay tuned for that. Anyway, let's take a look at the stuff that was available, and we're going to annotate for right now. Okay, we've got Parkview for $739,000. Ooh, picked a big buck one right away. 609 Parkview Court is a newer 2-story. And this is actually great. This is a great example of that. 5,000 square feet, baby, for 750 grand. That's insane. I love that. That's awesome. Okay, let's get rid of the annotate thing. Anyway, it was built in 2017. So like I said, there's new construction that's happening in Anoka, right? But it's not like new all the time. It's not it's expanding like crazy. It's not that kind of a community. It's well established, early 1900s homes, all the way up through the nowadays. However, it is smaller and it's got a really, really great blend. It's got the whole package. How about let's say it like that. Let's go back to the map. 739,000, 6 bedrooms, 5 baths. Wow. You know what? I want to look at the inside of this. Let's take a look. That's kind of cool. Yep, it's in a structured neighborhood, and what we would call an infill neighborhood is one of the remaining chunks of land, of farmland that they subdivided and turned into a neighborhood. Places like brand new on the inside. Gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. Nice finishes. Love the fireplace. That's kind of cool. Yep. Big kitchen, huge center island, side desk for yourself or the kiddos to do homework at. Nice neo angle center island. That's pretty dope. I like that. That's pretty cool. There's 70 pictures to go through. Oh my gosh. That's too many. Oh man. Huge, huge upper level loft. That's pretty cool. There's the primary suite. Ooh, dual sinks. Hey, not everybody can have dual sinks. Tray ceiling. I'll annotate this. So when I say tray ceiling, what I'm talking about is right here, is this area up there. And that is what's aptly called a tray ceiling. It's not a vault, it's a tray. Anyway, moving on. Let's check out some other stuff. Shall we? Okay, there we go. Let's go back to the map. Put you up in the center there. 1418 4th Avenue. Yep, here's a prime example of Anoka County and Anoka, Minnesota. 347. Wait, hold on. 1947 it was built. It's 3 beds, 2 baths, 1 car garage. Has a total of 1,860 finished square feet. And bar, fridge, and freezer and utility room, blah, blah, blah. Charming and fully renovated 1.5-story home. Nice. In the heart of Anoka. That was off key. That was terrible. You see this very, very common in Anoka, where you get the houses that have a detached garage originally. Many times you'll see a breezeway that they'll connect it up and use that as additional finished square footage. Beautiful floors. Oh my gosh. Look at that kitchen. New ceramic tile backsplash, new appliances. That's cool. Nice work. Beautiful house. Very, very beautiful house. Love those floors. Orrin Thompson back in the day used to build most of these homes, and they had pretty much the same supplier of oak. And it was number 1 oak, man. And it was inch and a quarter thick. And it was just, I don't know, it was cool. You may be wondering what I'm talking about. Right there. Let's annotate that. These beautiful hardwood floors. That's just absolutely amazing. Gosh, those are gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Anyway, moving on. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Hold on here. We gotta do whoop, whoop, whoop. Yep. Let's get rid of that. Clean that up. Okay. Let's go back to the map yet again. Hello, Mr. Map. How are you? 910 Queens Lane. Okay. Let's take a look at that. There's another great example. Mid-century modern, 1952. 3 beds, 3 baths. Sounds like there's probably a lot of it that's finished. Yep, huge garage. Huge garage. Good sized place. Oh, look at that. Nice open layout. Newer windows. If you look, these are newer, maybe brand new. Who knows? We'd have to read the disclosures to know for sure. At any rate, so as we're looking at houses and stuff, I generally, like I said in the beginning, is that if we are doing a tour of like 5 or 6 homes, I'll push for us to be able to go out and get some lunch really quick, to be able to go into the community, and because that's what matters to you. Like it's like grocery stores, for example, right? We've got an Aldi, which has really, really great vegetable prices, vegetable and fruits. You got Hy-Vee. They're kind of the new hotness on the scene, and really, really big, very big box. However, they've got a pretty cool experience. So if you've never been into a Hy-Vee, it's definitely a good place to check out. Great value at all times. Mike's Discount Foods. Basically what Mike's does, I think they've got a really, really cool culture as a company. They're local in Minnesota, and they basically go around to all the organic stores in Minnesota, and they take all of their produce that's about to expire. And then they sell it to you, and you can buy it at a discount, which is really cool. I think that's great. I think that's really, really cool. Kings County Market, nothing to really mention there. Coburn's, sure. Another big box store, kind of like a Cub Foods. And if you don't know Cub Foods all that well, Cub Foods is kind of a staple in the state of Minnesota. It's our like in Georgia, it's Cubs. But Cub Foods, yeah, that's our big box grocery store that has everything. A little bit like a Walmart Supercenter, however, just not Walmart. They were before Walmart's time. And that's what I love about them. There's also a Sam's Club, Walmart Supercenter within a mile, a Target grocer, El Mercadito would be a Hispanic market. The French market, don't know anything about that. Anoka Meat and Sausage, they are famous. Famous. Awesome. Awesome place to get fresh meats and really, really nice cuts of meat at that for to bring home for dinner after you pick up your kids from daycare. So if you got kids, and of course there's dog sitters and such. I think there's two of them in Anoka, like one's in Ramsey and one's in Champlin. If you're a puppy parent, Northdale Boulevard, there we go. Rogers Kindercare, you got Creative Kids Academy, Kids and Company Child Care Center, and this is the amount of daycares, but not this is a list, but not limited to just this, because of course you got the neighborhood folks that like, Judy down the road, she watches kids, and Fran, 2 streets over, she watches kids too, and she's got a swing set and whatever. Like those, it's that type of a community. However, I wanted to basically showcase just the stuff that's the properties or daycares that are available, that are licensed, bonded, all the good fun stuff. Tree of Life Academy, I actually know the person that started Tree of Life Academy, and very, very good people. Montessori's that are available, private Montessori's, faith-based Montessori's, super, super great. And I've worked up an appetite. I always work up an appetite when I'm working. Breakfast, oh man, just love Coffee Cafe. Really, really great fare. Sparky's Cafe, I've been there. I've been to the Oakwood. The Oakwood's great. Truffles and Torts, we talked about that earlier with the coffee and such. They got great desserts. So it's definitely like a good end of the date night after going out for maybe cocktails and having dinner. Maybe stop in at Truffles and Torts today. Crown Bakery and Eatery. Woohoo! Love it! Wheelhouse, another bar and grill. Great place to go. A great place to go get bar food like burgers, tater tots, waffle fries with seasoned sour cream. Maybe. Are you a seasoned sour cream person? Put it in the comments below. Is there anything that seasoned sour cream can't garnish? Restaurants, McGillicuddy's, great. Irish Place, got an awesome Monte Cristo, which is which is like a deep fried sandwich and they give you jam with it. And so it's like a bread sandwich that's dipped in pancake batter and then they deep fry it. It's impossibly good. And it's terrible for you, but it's delicious. Absolutely love it. Wheelhouse, I already mentioned them. Casa Rio Tex-Mex restaurant. Yep, it's great. 201 Tavern and Grill. Yep. Never been there, but it's got 4.3 stars, so it's above 4. You're doing okay if you're above 4 stars. Jelly Bean and Julia's Barbecue. There's definitely been a trend. We had food trucks, like crazy lot of food trucks that were around Minnesota during the COVIDs. And a lot of those some of those food trucks that became like, I don't know, locally famous, and people followed them all around the state for when they were open, and they're like pop-up restaurants, right? Starting to see a trend where we're starting to see some restaurants come back in the brick and mortar buildings. So, and this is a prime example of one of those. Religious centers. Let's talk about church, shall we? Again, rooted in Judeo-Christian teachings, Minnesota, in the Midwest, but Minnesota has a lot of Methodist, Lutheran, Catholic, and like Universalist churches and such. You can definitely tell if an area has been more or is becoming more diverse when it does have like a Universalist church or a non-denominational Christian church. And Anoka has all of these things. And if you look, there is a crap ton of churches. We'll circle that in Anoka. That is awesome. Okay. So you can see that there. So as far as religious sects, there's four or five of them that are Judeo-Christian. Do we have any? Let's see here. I think we had a Buddhist. There's definitely a Buddhist temple, Baptist church. Yep, yep. Grace Life Church. No. Oh, so that would be a Somali church and meditation center. White Buffalo Spiritual Healing. White Buffalo Spiritual Healing and White Buffalo Spiritual Healing and Gifts. Divine Light Services and Metaphysical Store. Ooh, that's kind of fun. What's that about? Come on, I clicked on it. Give it to me. 4.7 stars. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Fantastic. Cool. Love it. All right, let's head over to shopping. What do we got for shopping? Anoka Shopping Center, which is a strip mall. Favorite Things, which is like a boutique. Oh yeah, it even says it. It's a boutique. A lot of vintage stores in downtown Anoka. I'm absolutely in love with how cute Anoka, Minnesota is, especially by the River Valley. It's so cute and really neat with all the older buildings. So I'm certainly open to showing you that kind of stuff. Dog parks. Let's talk about dog parks. I want to go to the dog park. Bunker Hills Dog Park for Fido the Golden Reliever, so you can go get him run out and burn off that energy. Bunker Hills Dog Park, great. Bunker Hills is a staple in Anoka County. Fantastic. Lots and lots of events. Good places for families, people without families, and just puppy families or whatever families. And those that are just single, just a great place, because you got the Bunker Hills Activity Center, which also has like horseback riding. It's got a wave pool and outdoor wave pool, that is. And it's just a really great day, like a day event kind of a place. And finally, it's rounded off in schools. Anoka Hennepin High School, which is a public. There are a smattering of private schools in Anoka now that are popping up. And you got Lincoln Elementary, which is great. Lincoln Elementary is just an awesome elementary school. And they get really high marks. And that's what's really awesome about Anoka. Got to be honest. This went really quickly today, guys. I really appreciate you taking your time. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Garrett Hilton one more time here. Thank you so very much for watching all the way till the end. We appreciate your time because we know that your time is yours and yours alone. And make sure to click the subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and smash that like button on the way out so you can be the first one to know about all the cool new stuff going on with Anoka, Minnesota. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so very much. You stay classy.